Oikos list is a list you're making to share with your family and friends. And I'm going to talk about two kinds of Oikos lists. One is a list that you're sharing with Christians, sharing the four calls. That means the four responsibilities to share the gospel: the call from above, the call from below, the call from inside, the call from outside. Giving them this burden to share the gospel. And with that, it's easy to learn. Then they teach it back to you. They make their Oikos list. They train others and they send them out with their Oikos, and it becomes exponential. The four calls goes viral. Then you have this group that has the knowledge that they're responsible to share the gospel. And with that same group, you're teaching them the simple testimony, my story, the simple gospel, his story, the story of Jesus Christ, the death, burial, resurrection, and how his death on the cross can count to pay the penalty for my sin. So we follow that same chain with the Christian Oikos list, a training list. So when you make your list, you just start to write down everybody you know. For this Christian Oikos list, you're just writing every Christian you know, everybody in your church, every other Christian you know, in any kind of Bible study, any group. You're training Christians to share, and you write down as many as you can. Don't stop at 100. Keep going and get the list as long as you can. Your other Oikos list is those who you'll share the gospel with. So you pray about this list, but it's prayerful action. You want to get this list again of maybe 100 as long as you can, but reduce it to the top 5. Who are you going to begin sharing the gospel with? Take a step of faith, trusting God to share. And those who become believers, you've already been experienced in training believers how to share the gospel. Those who become believers, you're already beginning to train them to share the gospel, make their Oikos list, and begin to tell others their testimony and God's story. This is a step of faith, but trust the Lord. Read Mark chapter 5, the way the Lord used the demoniac. Soon after he became a believer, he said, go and tell your family what the Lord's done, your family and friends, your Oikos, in the whole of that 10-city area heard the good news of Jesus Christ. Or read John chapter 4, the Samaritan woman, and the Lord used her to share with her whole Samaritan village. The Lord could use you. Trust the Lord will use you. Take a step of faith. God bless.